This is Brian Mayer, host of Hot Sauce Weekly. And you are listening to BCRN, all barbecue and grilling all the time.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Welcome to the Barbecue Central Show, the show where we talk about all things that are important in the world of barbecue. From big-name interviews with competitors on the barbecue circuit, grill manufacturers and pit makers, to advice on cooking brisket and ribs. You'll find it all right here on the Barbecue Central Show. Your host, Greg Rempe, is a backyard barbecue and grilling fanatic and loves to talk about his passion, which many of us share together. You can learn more about barbecue and grilling by visiting the website, thebbqcentral.com. Now, let's get in the smoke. Here's your program host, Greg Rempe.
Welcome to the Barbecue Central Show. Yeah, it is the Barbecue Central Show, presented by the 5th Annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley. Myron Mixon headlining this event. September 10th through the 12th, VIP dinner cooking demonstration. CelebrateTheValley.com for more information. And by the way, this is the show that talks about all things important to the world of barbecue and grilling. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard on this Wednesday evening. Not Tuesday, Wednesday. So for those of you that got the many messages that I passed out, that the show is going to be moving to Wednesdays, middle of the week, for the next 15 weeks. Due to things that I cannot control, namely collegiate courses. This is where we're going to be. Barbecue Central Radio Networks, the bbqcentralshow.com. You can also visit the Barbecue and Grilling Forum, which I moderate and administer, the bbqcentral.com, which is a worse URL. Let me give you some contact information in case you want to jump in on the show, which is jam-packed tonight. And when I say jam-packed, it will go a full 2 hours without a shadow of a doubt. So if you want to call in at any time, you can do so by calling the toll-free number 877-448-0433. You can also email the show if you'd like, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Those are the two ways to get in touch with the show. Here's what's happening on the agenda tonight. Here's what we have slotted. Coming up in about 13 minutes from now, going to be joined by first-time guest of the show, Celeste Dwyer. She owns, she's self-employed. She owns Celestial Media. I'm not saying that right. Celestial Media, I think that's what it is. And she is partnered up with Taste of the Deerfield Valley. You've heard me talking about them here for the last number of weeks, a named sponsor of the show, and this will be happening September 10th through the 12th. And she's going to give us kind of more of an insider's look. We had Myron Mixon on talking about it a couple of weeks ago, but Celeste will be able to give us a little bit more in-depth look as to what the events actually will be happening, what will be transpiring over those 2-3 days. So look for Celeste Dwyer in about 13 minutes from now, talking about the 5th Annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley. Then we're going to be joined by regular monthly guest Derek Riches, about 35 past the hour, from About.com, or more specifically, his particular portion of About.com, bbq.about.com. Derek always lending his expert, precise, and precision reports on what's new, cool, and out there in the retail market when it comes to the barbecue and grilling industry. There's a billion things out there. There are always new things coming out every year. Derek gets his hands on a sizable portion of that and puts it through his rigors and batteries of testing, and then provides informed decisions on what we might want to possibly either spend our money on or not, more importantly, not spend our money on, because it's kind of a gimmick. It doesn't really pan out idea-wise. So that'll be Derek Riches from About.com, 35 past the hour. 4-segment free-for-all for your chance to win fun and succulent prizes to include frog mats, wood smoke products from Greenleaf Barbecue, Cosmos Q injection prizes, and soak prizes. And we also have the new wild game rubs, cedar planks from the good folks over at Easy Hooks. That's bbqhooks.com. That's the 4-segment free-for-all hosted by a post-mortem and ever-energetic Harry Carey, former play-by-play guy, Hall of Fame broadcaster of the Chicago Cubs. That's right. Could be a question. We'll write that down. Then we'll stop for news at the end of that first hour, 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock rolls around, jam-packed yet again. After Dark guests to include executive producer and creator of Barbecue Pitmasters, John Marcus. He'll be taking your calls. You not very happy with the way things have turned out with the new format of Barbecue Pitmasters for the Season 2? he is willing to take on all comers, all haters, and all lovers, of course, if you support the show. And I'll be interviewing him as well for the first half hour. Then picking up the second half of that hour, Neil Straughter, a.k.a. Big Mista, will be joining us. He's a West Coaster out there, Los Angeles area and areas south of that. So we'll talk to him about him being on the show, which will be this coming Thursday, which is tomorrow. And then what was it like to be on there for as much as detail as he can give us, of course. And then he's also doing the business side of things for barbecue. He competes a little bit as well. Hey, did you miss Rod Gray's interview last week? It really becomes an instant classic. If you missed it, go to the archives page on the BCRN site or grab it in iTunes or get it however you can get it. Go take a listen. You know, Rod came with guns a-blazing, spoke very openly about competition in general, how his year is going, TV shows. You name it, we hit it last week, and the email reaction has been overwhelming, to say the least. So, first of all, thanks again to Rod for coming on and hitting it out of the park yet again, which he always seems to do when he comes on the show. I'm rarely shocked during an interview. But when I asked Rod if he likes to eat his competition barbecue or if he makes it different at home when he eats it, and he broke out with I don't like barbecue, I don't eat it, that really took me back a little bit. I mean, you'd probably figure that I had already asked Rod that question before in previous interviews. Never have. I'm sorry, of course, that I didn't ask that the first time I've ever had him on the show, but it just goes to show you that the longer I do the show, the more I come to learn about these folks on the circuit. Very interesting, to say the least. Or to say the least. And, you know, I wonder what that says about competition barbecue, perhaps in a broader sense. You know, Rod saw a bunch of people at a racetrack in ridiculous heat having the time of their lives, and he decided at that point that was going to be something that he was going to go take a run at. And let's be clear, Rod's worked very hard refining the taste profiles and mastering the cooking of the meats, which has led to his success over the past 3+ years. He wants to be the best. He wants to win every time out. He game plans accordingly, as do all of the other teams that win consistently in any sanctioning body. But look, let's face it, if Rod went to a football game and he really loved everything about it, I'm going to guess that he isn't going to make the Kansas City Chiefs roster, much like I'm not going to make the Cleveland Browns roster, no matter how much he or I love football. The skills and the God-given ability just isn't there for a large majority of it. It's just the way it is. Same with football, hockey, I'd say soccer, but of course no one really likes soccer at all. But if you go to the barbecue event and you fall in love with it, this is one of those things that you can practice at, get really good at, start competing in. Like next weekend if you wanted to. Trust me, I've seen a lot of you guys out there. I'm not going out on a limb when I say that the need to be in world-class physical shape to be successful in competition barbecue is not even remotely a requirement. As a matter of fact, bring on the fat, bitches. That's what I'm talking about. Another great thing about competition barbecue, it's not gender specific. You can be male or female, and your opportunity of doing well is equally or is equal as long as you put in the work. I mean, look, Melissa Cookston of Yazoo's Delta Q or Daniel Damaski of Diva Q will never be on a baseball diamond playing with the men or the football field or hockey rink. Daniel, you're Canadian, so I'll let you get away with hockey this time. But in the world of competition barbecue, the boys and the girls can play together. And how great is that? Talk about battle of the sexes. You supply the desire, the want to win, the competitive spirit, and the dedication to learning the craft. You can participate. Better than that, if you do it really well, you can win. You might win a lot. And that, my friends, is the allure, dare I say, the romance of competition barbecue. And that's why it continues to grow across the country and the world, and I can do it, you can do it. No other God-given abilities are required to be a potential star. That's why I like it. Hey, quick reminder, folks, about BBQ teams online. Look, Centralites, I don't want to break it to you in a very bad way, but the internet is not going away. It's not a fad. If you don't have an internet presence, then you're losing valuable exposure. Exposure can lead to revenue, money. You like money, right? Love money. And you're thinking, well, I can't do it because I don't know what I'm doing. Well, don't worry about it anymore. Not a tech geek, no problem. For a small monthly investment, you can own your own spot on the interwebs. You can start with a 30-day free trial. Doesn't get any better than that. No risk on your part. It's fully customizable. made possible by the good folks over at bbqteamsonline.com. That's bbqteamsonline.com. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Come back with Celeste Dwyer talking about the taste of the Deerfield Valley. It's Remping You right here on the Barbecue Central Show.
Barbecue fans travel from all over the country and the world to learn the secrets of real pit barbecue from Grand Champion Pitmaster Conrad Haskins. Now take your skills to the next level with a Barbecue Institute Pitmaster class. You'll learn how to make sauces, rubs, and smoke mouth-watering barbecue every time you cook. Your new skills will impress friends and family. Internet forums, blogs, and Facebook are full of success stories from our graduates. Upcoming classes locations include Rock City Rib Fest, Rochester, New York, Lexington, Massachusetts, Lang Factory Test Kitchen in Georgia, Fort Worth, Texas, Fredericksburg, Texas, Houston, Texas, Monroe, Washington, and Kennewick, Washington. For more information, class days, and contests we'll be competing in, visit www.bbqclass.com. That's bbqclass.com.
Hey gang, Reppy here to talk about bbqteamsonline.com. Do you have a website? Get your barbecue team online. Visit bbqteamsonline.com for a high-quality, professionally made, fully customizable website. Easily display your team's upcoming events, start your very own online store, post event results, and show off those award-winning ribs in your photo gallery. Get your team online today by going to bbqteamsonline.com. Visit today. Centralites, you having marriage troubles? Your kid's unruly and don't listen? Then you need the Ribolator, because great barbecue will always bring the family together, and the Ribolator always cooks great award-winning barbecue. You can try it free for 30 days, and if your family life doesn't improve, just send it back. Ribolator even pays return shipping. But you need to take that first step. Visit Ribolator.com to get started or call 206-999-0962. Don't you deserve a happy barbecue family?
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Welcome back, 15 past the hour. This is the Barbecue Central Show, presented by the 5th Annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley. Myron Mixon headlining this event September 10th through the 12th. Mount Snow, Vermont. Go ahead and run on over to CelebrateTheValley.com to secure your tickets today. Cooking demonstrations, food festivals, all that great stuff. Also, Yoder Smoky Mountain Barbecue, the leading online retailer of Meadow Creek barbecue equipment. Their barbecue smokers and grills are handcrafted in the Amish country of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, helping you enjoy easy and profitable barbecues for years to come. Visit Serious BBQs, that's BBQS, SeriousBBQs.com. Good folks over at Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue. All right, joining me now is the owner of Celestial Media, a company that does web design, SEO, promotions for small businesses. She has been very busy getting the events for this September 10th through the 12th all set for the 5th Annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley. And she joins me right now to talk about it. So let's go ahead and race over to the hotline. This is Celeste Dwyer joining us here on the show. Celeste, thanks for coming on tonight. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. And yourself?
I can't complain, Celeste, and I certainly appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. Got to be very busy right now. You only have, roughly a week or so left to go before the whole thing kicks off out there in Mount Snow, Vermont. So before we actually get into that, if you could maybe give us a couple minutes on what you are, what you do, and kind of how this all ties into the 5th Annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley.
Well, I am, as you mentioned before, I'm owner of Celestial Media, and I do websites and help with promotion of businesses using the internet. I basically focus on local businesses in Vermont, and I'm also one of the founding members of Celebrate the Valley. Celebrate the Valley is a nonprofit organization that is a group of business members in the Deerfield Valley who have come together to put on events that showcase the beauty and richness of our little area in southern Vermont. The Grand Race is one of the other events we do Memorial Day weekend. We've teamed up with the Living History Association to do another event called The Timeline, a reenactor event in October. And then, of course, our Taste of the Deerfield Valley.
All right, so what is the Taste of the Deerfield Valley, actually? What can we expect when we show up, and why do you do what you do?
Well, Taste the Deerfield Valley is actually a collection of the best restaurants in the Deerfield Valley, and on Saturday afternoon, they provide a taste of their menu. $15 gets you in the door, and you get to taste all of their lovely food. There's live music, there's a craft show, there's kids' activities. So it's a great afternoon event at Mount Snow. And this year we've added Myron Mixon to the whole mix, no pun intended. Friday night he's doing a dinner at the Hermitage Inn, which is a gorgeous inn in our area. He's doing beef brisket, he's doing ribs, chicken, and a whole hog, and he's going to be demonstrating how he makes it. And then the guests will be able to taste each one, and each course will be paired with a beer. So that'll be Friday night. And then Saturday morning, Myron Mixon joins Chef Robert. Chef Robert is a well-known chef in Vermont. He was a former executive chef of the New England Culinary Institute. He worked for Norwegian cruise lines. He studied in Europe. He made a restaurant in Brandon, Vermont called Café Provence. And he's coming down and he's demonstrating how he makes his famous tomato pie. And with all of that, the junior Iron Chefs will be there too. They're a local junior Iron Chef team that have won the state championship 3 times in a row. And they'll be assisting the chefs. And they're also, this is a charity event, they're also going to get the proceeds, a part of the proceeds from the entire weekend.
This is Celeste Dwyer, and we are talking about the 5th annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley. Again, the website, if you want to get tickets online, celebratethevalley.com. I suppose I should ask that, Celeste. People can go ahead and book tickets right there online, right?
Yes, they can. They can go there right now and purchase them with their credit cards. I do have some good news, too. If you're interested in coming to the Saturday morning cooking demonstration, that's from 9 to noon, we are discounting the tickets. They were $35, and we're discounting them right down to $20. So if you go to the website, check it out. And if you have any problems, feel free to email me or call me. My email is info@celebratethevalley.com. And my telephone number is 802-380-8020.
Is this the first time during this, what is now going to be a 5-year span of this event taking place, has there ever been a barbecue guy or gal of any persuasion that has kind of headlined that event in the past?
No, this is the first time we've done the barbecue thing, and it has definitely been a learning experience for me. Done a lot of research and quite an interesting world, the barbecue world. Of course, Myron Mixon came down about a month ago to visit us, and I was super impressed with the gentleman that he is. He's quite a fun guy.
I was going to say, because, well, I guess I have a number of questions here. You have Myron Mixon that's actually going to be doing the event. I would imagine as you kind of peruse the cream of the crop when it comes to barbecue talent, you probably have to factor in a couple more things than you would normally just looking at competition standings through sanctioning bodies. But obviously Myron Mixon has a lot of time winning, but then he also has been in front of the camera recently, especially last year on Barbecue Pitmasters. Is there any particular reason why he was chosen versus perhaps some of the other like TV-type chefs you might see, like a Bobby Flay or somebody like that?
We have a local guy in town who does culinary tours, and his name's Chris Donnelly from Creative Culinary Tours, and he had worked with Myron Mixon in the past and was very impressed with working with him. And so he approached us and pitched the idea, and we did a little research, and then we tended to agree with him.
Now, you said here a couple minutes ago that you've kind of were not awestruck, but you were impressed with kind of the gentleman that he was and how he carried himself. You look at him on television, there's a number of people that think that he might be kind of abrasive, to say the least, if you just kind of take him at face value on some of the TV shows that he has been on. Has there been any concern from folks about booking this event because of how they have seen him on television in the past?
I haven't noticed anything. That's the personality, and it is, partially true. he is a confident man, but that's what struck me. He'll make his jokes and about being the best and making money and doing all that stuff, but it's a joke. You can take offense to it, or you can actually read through it and see the person and the gentleman that he actually is.
Now, this is obviously a big event. You're showcasing a lot of what the Deerfield Valley has to offer. And then you're bringing in a barbecue guy, one of the most winningest guys on the competition circuit. He competes in 2-3 different sanctioning bodies and wins across them as he goes. Is this bringing Myron in? Is this kind of speaking to the overall growth, in your personal opinion, of the popularity and the way that barbecue is growing over the nation?
I think so. I definitely think so. I mean, we went to the New England Championship Barbecue Festival at Harpoon Brewery, and I mean, we were absolutely amazed the amount of people that came out for that who were interested in barbecue. And so I think New England, it's not the typical idea of barbecue lovers, but I do think there are a lot of barbecue lovers. It's not just the South, So I definitely see that barbecue is definitely a potential for growth in services and events and products in the Northeast.
So if somebody's looking to get away, maybe their plans have fallen through next weekend and they're looking for something to kind of fill in on. Can you give us a little bit more idea of lodging deals and tickets for, maybe a 2 or 5 night stay with you guys? What are we looking at for an investment?
Well, if you go to our website, CelebrateTheValley.com, and click on lodging, there's a couple of lodging options there. Creative Culinary Tours has a 2-day package that includes tickets for the taste and 2 nights lodging. So that's your Friday night dinner, your Saturday morning demonstration, and the afternoon. And those start at $259 per person. If you don't want to do the dinner, it's $159 per person. And then if you've got a little extra time, there's a 5-night package, and that starts at $1,184, I believe, and that includes airfare and a bunch of other activities over the 5 days. But if you just want to come and check it out, there's also a couple of lodges on the website that you can look at. Otherwise, if you go to visitvermont.com, that's our local chamber, there's plenty of lodging options. We have quite a few in the area, and it's a gorgeous area, so it's a nice little trip.
Yeah, Celeste Dwyer joining us here. CelebrateTheValley.com is the website. I'm from, well, not originally from, but I had spent a number of years up there in Saratoga Springs, New York, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump there from Vermont itself. So,
Right.
I've seen how nice it is, especially going into the fall time, leaves starting to turn, color starting to change. But for people that haven't actually made it out there, can you kind of give us an idea of what the setting is like and almost how majestic this whole place is?
Well, we're right in the middle of the Green Mountains, so from many points you can go. I mean, I still to this day will just take a drive and go down a random road because you'll never guess what you'll see, like a beautiful house on a hilltop looking over a field. Of course, the event will be right at Mount Snow, and they'll have chairlift rides, so you can take rides right up to the top of the mountain. You can also, there's plenty of hikes around where you can actually do the physical work yourself if you feel like working off all the barbecue. And yeah, it's just a really gorgeous place. There's Wilmington just down the road. It's about 5-10 minutes down the road from Westover, where the event is. It's a quaint little, New England village with shops. It's just a nice, peaceful, quiet place.
All right, so assuming this all goes off without a hitch and it's wildly successful, as we both think it probably will be, especially given barbecue being in the mix, as you look towards next year after this closes on the 12th, would you consider bringing back another barbecue guy or gal to do something like this again next year?
For sure, definitely. This will be a gauge if this is successful. We will look into other chefs. We'll look into other barbecue chefs. We'll look into including barbecue on a different level. Yep. We'll see what happens after the weekend.
That's right. And again, this is Celeste Dwyer, and she is the owner of Celestial Media, and her personal website, celestialmedia.com. And then, of course, the business website here that we're talking about, CelebrateTheValley.com, for the 5th annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley, which is taking place September 10th through the 12th, 9 days from today. Celeste, thanks again for coming on tonight and giving us the info about what sounds like an absolutely great event. Plus, hard to beat Vermont this time of the year. I think we can both agree on that, so good luck next weekend.
Beautiful time. Beautiful time. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care, Celeste. There she is. Celeste Dwyer. Again, tasteofthevalley.com. Sorry, celebratethevalley.com. It's a Taste of the Deerfield Valley is the event. So, look, especially if you're in that area, you don't have anything going on, not this coming weekend, but a week from this weekend, the 10th through the 12th, and you have some extra ducats that you want to burn, and you want to be able to meet Myron Mixon. I mean, I know one way you can meet Myron Mixon. You can kind of follow him around the barbecue trail, which he really isn't on these days because of all these other engagements that he is coming into because of the success and the FaceTime that he got on Barbecue Pitmasters last season, plus all the Craig Ferguson appearances and all that good stuff. Or you can pay the $750. Is that what it is these days? Is he charging $750 to go down to Unadilla, Georgia, and take his cooking class? That's one of the two ways that you can meet him. So for a considerable amount less of cashish, you can go hang out with him on a Friday night for a very exclusive VIP dinner. See him cook some of the meats that he cooks every weekend when he's out there competing. You get to sample it. It's not going to obviously be as in-depth as his cooking class, but if you're really not looking for the cooking class aspect, you want to learn a few things, but you want to be able to hang out and hobnob with one Myron Mixon. That's really going to be your best way to do it, especially if you're up there in the northeast region of the country. I mean, why wouldn't you want to take a look at that? Again, celebratethevalley.com is the website, and that's going to be the 5th annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley, so I'll be interested to see how Celeste reports back in regards to how successful that event was, and that'll be coming up next week. Again, quick reminder here about the Ribbulator, literally flying off the shelves, from what I understand and from what I know from owner Bob Garnash. If you want to get away from the restrictions of traditional rotisserie cooking and only be limited by your imagination, then the Ribbulator is for you, especially if you got an existing spit rod and motor thing goes right on it. Got a 4-tray Ferris wheel. It rotates like a Ferris wheel. You can put hamburgers on one tray, hot dogs on another tray, ribs on another tray, dare I say, succulent fish on another tray. That's right. Go to Ribbulator.com to check it out for yourself, see how it works. You can also email the owner about how you can get it, info@theribbulator.com. We're going to come back with Derek Riches from About.com. Stick around. We'll be right back.
World Barbecue Champion and star of TLC's Barbecue Pitmasters, Myron Mixon headlines this September 10th through the 12th at the 5th annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley in West Dover, Vermont. On Friday, Myron Mixon will demonstrate his world-famous barbecue at a VIP dinner and beer pairing at the gorgeous Hermitage Inn. On Saturday, Myron and former New England Culinary Institute executive chef Robert will be demonstrating their cooking skills at Mount Snow Resort. The popular Taste of the Deerfield Valley Food Festival, featuring live music, craft show, and taste from over a dozen of the best restaurants in the Mount Snow area, follows their demonstrations. Packages, including tickets and 2 nights lodging, start at just $159 per person. A portion of the proceeds will go to the Junior Iron Chef program. For more information or to purchase advanced tickets, visit CelebrateTheValley.com. That's CelebrateTheValley.com. Sponsored in part by Celebrate the Valley, the town of Dover, G. Housen, 92.7 WKVT, Outside Television, Mount Snow Resort, and the Hermitage Inn. The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at TheBarbecueGuru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
35 past 9. This is the Barbecue Central Show, presented by the 5th Annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley. Myron Mixon headlining this event September 10th through the 12th in Mount Snow, Vermont. Check it out at CelebrateTheValley.com. We just talked to Celeste Dwyer last segment. Thanks to her for doing that. Also, good folks at the Barbecue Guru, makers of automatic temperature control devices, not to mention a host of other products that make your barbecue and grilling life easier. 2 ways to find them on the internet, thebbqguru.com, or toll free on your phone, 800-288-GURU. That's G-U-R-U. Good folks, the Barbecue Guru. Okay, let's go ahead and race back over to the hotline. Join monthly contributor to the show from About.com, Derek Riches, bbq.about.com to be more specific. Derek, how are you, buddy?
Good. How you doing?
Excellent, and thanks for taking the time out to hit us up again this month, Derek, talking about what's new and cool out there in the world of barbecue. Before I get to the 3 items that we're going to be chatting about here tonight, we're obviously going to be talking with John Marcus here coming up around the 10 o'clock hour. Have you been following Barbecue Pitmaster Season 2 at all?
You know, I haven't watched it, but I have been reading about it, interesting people's reaction.
I don't recall it being as overwhelming last season when perhaps it was even more positive.
Yeah, well, you turn around that direction and people are really going to start flaming you bad.
Yeah, I know, so let's stay away from that. All right, again, this is Derek Riches from bbq.about.com is his direct website. Of course, if you're a Twitterer or tweeter, whatever you call it, it's at about_BBQ, and we have Derek on every month to talk about what's cool and new out there in the barbecue and grilling world. The first thing we want to talk about tonight, hopefully I'm saying this right, it's the Kadak Safari Chef Grill. Did I do that right?
I think it's Kadak, but, come to think of it, I'm not entirely sure myself.
Who cares?
Yeah. I don't.
So what is this grill all about?
Well, this is actually a product out of South Africa originally. Portable cook stoves and stuff like this. I don't know, 5 years ago, they started trying to go out on the international market, produce a grill. The idea is they have a tripod unit. You put a disposable propane tank on it, fires up. You can put a grill on top. You can put a griddle on there. They have a number of accessories so that you can cook a wide variety of things. And then there's a lid that goes over top of that. So it'll work like an oven. Pretty much do anything. You actually can just put a pot right on there if you want. Great deal of versatility.
Is this kind of a miniature banjo or Cajun burner to a certain degree?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, it's a little less power than that. It's a little smaller than that. It's a good product. I was talking about like tailgating grills and stuff like this. It's a good product if you're taking camping, tailgating, stuff like that, because no matter what you want to cook, you can pretty much cook it on here.
And this perhaps would also be something that somebody in an apartment dweller doesn't have the option for the big runners out there, needs something to be a little bit more portable, whether he can do that on his patio or veranda, or he has to take it out into the courtyard to cook. This something could be up that person's alley.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a pretty good small unit. Cook a couple steaks on there, maybe 4 to 6 hamburgers, depending on how big you make them. But yeah, it's lightweight. The unit actually weighs in about 9 pounds.
Very light. And
yes, very light.
What kind of a price point are we looking at here?
About $120 on this one.
Have you been able to play around with this at all? Have you seen it?
Yeah, and it's pretty well built, actually. I mean, it's a little thin in the metal department, but it's actually a pretty good unit. It's versatile and it's very functional, and I like it, actually. Is
it something that's going to last for 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, you probably get about 5 years out of it if you take care of it.
All right, so not too bad as far as lifespan is concerned for about $120, and that's the Kadak Safari Chef Grill. KadakNorthAmerica.com is the website there. Next one up for our kind of tailgating-themed review is the Coleman Road Trip LX. Not XL, but LX. Tell us about that one.
Coleman, of course, famous for making a lot of cook stoves, and in reality, what they've done is kind of modified the cook stove design into a grill structure. It still has circular burners in it, and then you place a grill or griddle over top of that. It has a removable lid that it actually mounts on there, so it's hinged, but you can take it off if you want to get out of the way. The pair of burners, about 20,000 BTUs. It's actually got pretty good heat output on this for a portable unit. And it's got a great deal of versatility as well. You can put a pot or pan on here. You can cook pretty much anything on it.
So you could almost, in effect, if you're using both of these burners, you could kind of set up the grill portion for one side, and then you could be boiling water or sautéing something else on the other burner, potentially?
Yeah, that's what's nice about it is that the grill sections are cut in half, so you can swap them out however you want it.
And what kind of a price tag do we have on this one?
On this one, you're looking about $220.
All right, so, I mean, obviously there might be a little sticker shock there, but we're looking at Coleman, so obviously the reputation is there for durability and performance. Is this something that you've been able to try out yourself as well?
Yeah. I've had one of these, and it works pretty good. As far as durability, don't drop it.
That could be it, right?
Yeah.
All right, so don't drop that one, and that's the Coleman Road Trip LX, retailing around $220. Something is pretty readily available in a good outdoor store or like a Target or something, or even more available than that.
It's available pretty much anywhere. As a matter of fact, the best prices I've seen are actually online. So if you want to do that, maybe hit an Amazon or something like that. You can usually get a good deal there.
All right, and then the third item that we have here is the Chillin' Grill C22 from tailgategrills.com. This is bordering perhaps on a little over the top?
Well, depending upon your definition, I think it definitely crosses the border. This is a fun little unit if you've got the money for it. It's basically a portable outdoor kitchen sort of unit. It's got one half of it is a gas grill that's operated with 2 infrared burners, about 24,000 BTUs on that side, and then over on the other side you've got a cooler and a full functioning beer tap.
Wow.
You also have a full sound system cut into it, so you can take your iPod or your CDs or whatever and take the tunes with you.
And this is something that you're going to need a truck to pull around with then, obviously?
Yeah, definitely. It works on a kind of a hydraulic cart, so it could raise up, drop down. It's got a trailer hitch to it, so it'll hook onto the back of your truck so you can take it with you. Don't get rear-ended. Particularly at the price, but it's a fun little unit if you got the kind of money. Certainly gather people around.
What kind of a price point are we looking at for this unit?
Well, it lists at about $4,600, but you can typically find it more in the $35,000 to $4,000 range.
Is this only buying off of the internet, or are they actually somewhere distributed across the country?
I think there's a couple of retailers that are selling it, but by and large, you're going to have to order this one online.
And is this something that you have only seen with eyes, or have you been able to put your hands on this bad boy as well?
Well, they haven't given me one to play with
yet,
but let's go with the yet on that. I'll hold out hope. But I've seen them in action, so pretty nice little unit. It's well constructed, and it holds up pretty well, and it does a lot, and cook burgers and pour beer all day long.
Is it for the beer tap? And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there wondering, is this something that can support like a true half keg of beer, or do you need to go pony or like beer ball type Jones?
You're looking more in the pony range on this. It will not take a full keg on it. It doesn't have the depth for it.
All right, but still, some type of keg, always better than no type of keg when you're in the tailgating scene. You could be the envy of all your friends and neighbors and anybody that's around you with this unit, especially with those 2 infrared grills. So, looking at about $4,000 for this one, with the sound system, with the beer tap, and you got the grill on the other side, so it sounds certainly like a great thing. What else is potentially coming down the Derek Rich's test kitchen that you kind of let us in on?
Well, there's not a lot going on right now. People are really holding off on the economy. I've got waiting on a shipment. A guy has invented it's basically a way of converting a Weber kettle into a pizza oven. It's an aftermarket attachment that'll go on there, and it's got an open space in the front, so you don't have to remove the lid. You just slide your pizzas in and out like a pizza oven.
I've been seeing this making the rounds a little bit on the internet. Have you heard anything about it prior?
Actually, I talked with this guy probably 2 years ago, and he was looking at trying to come up with a way of replacing the hood on a gas grill. And my thinking was, not very many people are going to go for that. And but you head towards the charcoal direction, particularly like a Weber. There's a lot of owners, a lot of people that go that direction. So he's just now, I believe, getting online sales going. in the last week or two. He's supposed to have a batch ready to go and promised to ship me one out as soon as he had one ready.
All right, so that's something that we could look forward to in a perhaps even next month as far as cool things that we might want to take a look at and spend our money on. Again, this is Derek Rich's. bbq.about.com is his direct link to the website that he is at, and he has a great website. If you haven't never been there, you definitely want to take that out. And then if you're a Twitter follower, tweeter, whatever, it's at about_BBQ. You can follow Derek that way. Derek, always appreciate you coming on every month, telling us what's happening out there in the barbecue and grilling industry, and we will look for you again in October, baby.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
All right. Thanks, Derek. bbq.about.com is his website. That's what I just said. All right. Quick reminder, folks, there's free shipping going on over at ddogsbbq.com. You don't want to miss out. They also happen to have two new products, a Texas-style barbecue sauce and a jalapeno rib glaze. And did I mention the free shipping? That's right. Get you some today. You'll be glad you did. ddogsbbq.com. That's ddogsbbq.com. It's better than ketchup, baby. All right, we're going to come back with one more segment here, wrap up the first hour. John Marcus and Neil Straughter coming up in the second hour. 877-448-0433 for the four-segment free-for-all for your chance to win fun and succulent prizes. It's Rampy and you right here on the Barbecue Central Show. Hey, gang. Want to talk to you real quick about something that's very important when you're buying stuff online. You need to deal with a company that is reputable and knows what they're doing, and that's why I always recommend Fred Bernardo of Fred's Music and BBQ.com. We all know that Fred's Music is the barbecue and grilling superstore, from any kind of cooker you want to gas and charcoal grills and all the accoutrements in between to make your barbecue and grilling experience a success. But more important than all of that, Fred has been there and Fred will be there in the future. How many times have you heard the story about the guy that found that great cooker for a ridiculously low price, except it was back ordered for 10 months, or worse yet, he paid up front and never got the product? That's because some of these online retailers are here one day and gone the next. Fred has the inventory to meet your needs. It's competitively priced and shipped promptly. Shop where I shop. Fred's Music and BBQ.com. Headache-free guaranteed. Fred's Music and BBQ.com. Or, if you're in Shillington, Pennsylvania, stop by and see the smoking guitar player himself.
Introducing Cosmos Q. Cosmos Q injections and marinades use only the finest ingredients, and they mix easily, never clotting or caking. From our beef injection to our pork injection, you're guaranteed to wow your friends, family, and judges. And don't forget to check out our Cosmos Chicken Soak for that moist and tender chicken you're gonna love.
And don't forget about Cosmo's new pork soak and rubs.
You can find us at cosmosq.com and select retailers across the nation. For quality injections, marinades, and rubs, it's Cosmos Q.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
Welcome back, 9:52. 8 minutes till top of the hour. This is the Barbecue Central Show, presented by the 5th Annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley. Myron Mixon headlining this event over in Mount Snow, Vermont, September 10th through the 12th. You can go to the website, celebratetevalley.com, book your tickets, book plane fare, book all that stuff right there on the website, celebratetevalley.com. 5th Annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley. Hang with Myron Mixon. You won't be sorry you did it. That's all I know. All right, gang, let's go ahead and play the four-segment free-for-all. Hey, everybody, Harry Carey here. Great to be back here on a Wednesday. Very happy I could avail myself to be here. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to play this game called the four-segment free-for-all, where you can win free prizes. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, barbecue-related or not barbecue-related, your choice. And then you have 5 seconds to answer each question. If you get all 3 right, you win a prize. It doesn't get any better than that. All right, let's go to the phones. We'll go to area code 208. This is Harry Carey. Who's this?
This is Phil in Huntsville, Idaho.
Hi, Phil in Huntsville, Idaho. How are you?
I'm just fine. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Phil.
All right. So, Phil, in Huntsville, Idaho, do you want to play the game?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, do you want barbecue questions or not barbecue questions?
I'm going to have to go barbecue question.
All right, Phil, here we go. Question number 1. If you answer all 3, you get a free prize. Question number 1, Phil. Go ahead and name my second segment guest tonight here on the show.
That'd be Derek Riches or Derek Britches or something like that.
Derek Riches, that's right, from bbq.about.com. All right, 1 for 1. Much like Andre Dawson was back in the World Series of 1978. I remember that. I wasn't drunk for that one, Phil. Okay, second question. Here we go. Phil, tell me how many millions of pounds of Kingsford charcoal will be burned over Memorial Day weekend?
That'd be 55.8 million pounds, I believe.
That's right, 55.8 million pounds. In a non-related story, Phil, I once drank 55.8 beers during a Cubs game. It was outrageous.
Cubs win.
Cubs win. That's right. That's my line, Phil. Okay, third question. If you answer this one right, Phil, you can win a prize. Are you excited?
I'm excited. I know you are.
I know I am, too. Okay, here we go. Third question, Phil, for your chance to win a prize. Name the executive producer of Barbecue Pitmasters on TLC, who I will be, who Greg will be interviewing at 10 o'clock tonight.
That'd be John Marcus.
John Marcus is right. Phil, you're one sharp cookie out there in Idaho. Where's Idaho at exactly? I can't remember.
It's well, let's see. It's a little bit east of California.
All right, east of California. I was there once. All right, Phil, what would you like? We have frog mats. We have wine-infused oak wood from Greenleaf Barbecue. We have Cosmos Q injections and soaks. Also, wild game rub and cedar planks. It's a veritable cornucopia of prizes. What would you like?
I'll do some plank action.
Cedar planks from the good folks over at bbqhooks.com. And just email me your shipping info, Phil, at winner@thebbqcentralshow.com.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for calling in tonight, Phil. I appreciate it. Look, I'm no genius, of course. Not even living. I've never heard of Huntsville, Idaho. Did you know there was a Cleveland, Texas? I never knew there was a Cleveland, Texas. Stranger things have happened, folks. That was Phil winning cedar planks from the good folks over at Easy Hook. If you're not hooking, you're not cooking. That's what they always say. I like that. All right, we still have a few more minutes here for you to win a prize. We have frog mats, the very popular Cosmos Q. Did I forget to mention the El Capitan Santa Maria style seasoning? I love that stuff. Sometimes I steal it right out of Greg's pantry and I take it with me. I make potatoes with Satan. It's wonderful. I love it. So we also have El Capitan Santa Maria style seasoning as well. 877-448-0433 is the number to call. We have barbecue-related questions. We have not barbecue-related questions. I'm currently sitting in front of last week's viewership numbers on cable. Just a handful of shows. Can you guess what the most watched show last Thursday was? You want to say it was NFL preseason game at 8 p.m., but it wasn't. It wasn't. It was Bird Notice with 6.285 million viewers. I've never even heard of that show. What is that? Bird Notice. I also have the numbers for Barbecue Pitmasters. So my crack staff has supplied me with all of the information that I need. Area code 614, name and where you're calling from.
It's John Marcus.
Hey, John Marcus, this is Harry Carey. How are you?
Harry, it's great to be here.
John, would you like to play the game? For your chance to win a free prize, would you like to play?
Let's go.
All right, barbecue questions or not barbecue questions?
I don't know if I'd be doing too good on the barbecue questions, but let's just try it anyway.
All right, question number 1, John. Here we go. Can you name the radio station where you're calling in tonight?
Yes, I'm calling Hot Barbecue 97.1.
That's right, my favorite station. Okay, second question, John. Can you name the best-selling charcoal in the world?
In the entire world?
Entire world.
I'm going with Kingsford on that.
Kingsford's right. Did you know next weekend over Labor Day they're going to burn 55.85 million pounds of charcoal?
I'm going to be burning half of that.
All right. Outstanding, John. Last question, John. If you win this, if you get this correct, you can win a prize.
All right, boy, I need one. Let's go.
Question number 3. John, you excited?
I'm ultra excited. I'm so excited you can call the cops.
All right, John, here we go. Third question. Can you name the executive producer of the Barbecue Pitmaster show on TLC?
He wants to remain anonymous.
I'll take it. All right, John, if you could, just for 1 second, if you could hold on for about 2 minutes, and we'll get you back online with Greg Rempe. I'm going to wrap the show up here, and then we'll get ready for the second hour.
You just bring him on, sure.
All right. Hold, please. We'll wrap up. All right, there was Harry Carey wrapping up the 4-segment free-for-all. Outstanding. Love to tell the Emmy Award-winning producers that they have to wait on hold. All right. Let me wrap this first hour up. We'll go ahead and get to the second hour. Remember, we're going to be with John Marcus here in just a few minutes. Also, Neil Big Mista Strada, 10:30. So look for him as well. Thanks to Celeste Dwyer for coming on, talking about the 5th annual Taste of the Deerfield Valley. Also, thanks to Derek Riches from About.com, going over what's cool and new out there in the world of barbecue and grilling. And stand by for After Dark here. We're going to do a quick spot of news, and then we'll be back with the second hour After Dark segment. It's Rempe and you right here on the Barbecue Central Show.